Welcome to My Raw Soul. I am Annie Lowry, and today we are going to make a quinoa salad. And it requires a few fresh ingredients, and of course it requires quinoa. This is quinoa salad. If you've never heard of quinoa, it looks kind of like, it's a small grain, and it's full of protein, and it just gives you a different, you can kind of see it's a little tiny grain, and you can find it at most stores, especially any health food store for sure, but even some of the main grocery stores are carrying it. Even I got mine at Trader Joe's, so a lot of places have it. It's kind of like rice, but it's faster to make. So you're just going to put whatever it says on the directions, just follow on the back. One of the important things about quinoa is you want to rinse it until the water runs clear before you cook it. That'll just keep it so it'll cook right. Okay, so I've already cooked some quinoa. I'm making this for an event tonight, so I made a double batch. That's why I have a lot of quinoa. I made 2 cups dry, which makes quite a few cups once it's cooked. So the biggest thing is once you cook the quinoa, it's going to be really hot, and to make the salad, it's actually a cold salad, so you don't want to be putting the cold food or the cold vegetables into the hot salad because it's going to cook the vegetables. Unless you want them cooked. I mean, you can do that, it's not a problem, but I like to keep it fresh and everything cold. So you don't have to wait for it to cool. Maybe make it, it only takes 15 minutes to make. So you make it, you put it out for like half an hour, maybe even stick it outside if you live in Chicago like me and it's really cold, and make sure nothing eats it, of course. But yeah, figure out a way, you want to let it cool down a little bit. Which shouldn't be that long. So, have my quinoa, then, and also while it's cooling and while it's cooking, you can start cutting your vegetables. You can use pretty much any kind of vegetables. I chose some tomatoes, cucumbers. I even had a little bit of red onion left over, and of course my onion. And if you're not sure how to cut an onion, check out my video on how to cut an onion. And this is about half an onion because this is a big batch, but my recipe is going to be a little smaller than that I put the portions on. So you have all your vegetables, just chop them up into smaller pieces, and you know you can do that while it's cooking, and then you're just going to throw the vegetables into the quinoa. Oh wait, we're missing a step, the dressing. But you can throw this in first, and then we'll do the dressing. So just throw your vegetables in. They're so beautiful, and it's so bright and colorful. It really looks nice with that quinoa. And then you just kind of mix it around to get all those vegetables in the quinoa. You don't need to do much mixing because they pretty much mix pretty well. So, ta-da! They pretty much mixed that all together. You can do pretty much that. Okay, the next step is your dressing, which we could also do before the vegetables, but didn't do that. So, here we go. Here is the lemon juice, and I use just 1 lemon. And I'm going to show you a trick for squeezing lemons, because if you don't want to buy a fancy squeezer or whatever, a fork. I'm really into simplicity, so just use a fork and like stick it in the lemon, and then just start kind of going around in a circle. And that's a really easy way. And there's going to be seeds, but you can just either pick it out with your fork, or if you want to strain it again to another dish, you just decide what you're going to do. So there's not too many seeds in this one. So here we go. Okay, now the next thing you're going to do is the olive oil. So it's pretty much a simple dressing. It's just olive oil and lemon. So we're going to add quite a bit of olive oil. The proportions are on my blog. And probably you want to add as much olive oil as you have lemon. That's kind of my general rule. You can add more depending on how much oil you like. I'm not a huge oil fan, but if you want to add more, I usually add a little more than the amount of lemon I have. Oh yes, and of course, I just love salt. I don't know if you have high blood pressure or anything, but if you don't, just add a little bit of salt. This is probably like, by the time I'm shaking it, probably a 1/4 teaspoon or so. So we have all of our dressing, and we're just going to pour it over the salad. Now, if you wanted to make it different flavors, you could add, you know, cayenne pepper or turmeric or cumin. You could add, or basil, make it Italian. You can add other herbs into this dressing. I'm just making it as simple as possible for you at home, so you can just make it really easily. So here we go. Just pour that dressing on. Oh, got a seed in there. There we go. Alright, so we're just going to pour that dressing on and mix it around. Okay, the last step is to add, quinoa is full of protein. It's about oh, what is it? What did it say? Yeah, 6 grams of protein for one serving, which is quite a bit for, you know, a vegetarian or a vegan. But we can add more protein to it. So we're going to add some beans. And I like to add these last because sometimes they're soft, and if you mix them around too much, they might not stay together as well. But you can add them whenever. I'm adding 2 cups of black beans. You could use garbanzo beans. If you like pinto beans or something like that, you could add those as well. But beans just kind of give it another dimension because you have the veggies, and you have the quinoa, and you have the dressing, and now you have the beans. So it's really almost a complete meal. Actually, I'd probably eat this for lunch. And if this isn't enough, or if you want to add more, because this is kind of like simple, we could add some avocado. And avocado always adds a little more fat into the, you know, into the dish, and gives it more of a savoriness and more of a fullness to the dish. So if you want to add avocado in there at the last minute, things are flying out of here, then you can do that as well. So, ta-da, we have some beautiful quinoa salad. Serve it up. This would be a great thing to bring. I'm bringing it to a potluck tonight. You could bring it to somewhere, you know, it's a great dish to bring. If you want to taste it, I'm going to taste it. Let's see. We'll just put a little bit. This is a clean fork, I promise you. It's really good. If you taste it and you want more salt or whatever, just add a little more salt on, keep mixing. If you want some other spices in there, feel free to experiment. This is just a simple recipe that you can just be really creative with. So, to give you a picture of what it looks like, our beautiful quinoa salad, lots of quinoa, lots of veggies, lots of beans, protein, a great meal for a lunch or a light dinner. So, there you go. That's how you make a superfood quinoa salad.